Into automobiles.
Good evening, everyone. So welcome to the pre-pandemic meeting, sorry, the pre-show meeting. So this is our we don't have a lot scheduled today except for we'll do our table, our show and tell. We'll do Jeff's disbursement of periodicals and other fine memorabilia. And we'll just talk about the show, which is in a couple days from now. Mr. Dawson's not here, so I'll do a short update. Your executive, we've met this Tuesday. So Fanshawe College, that's paid for, taken care of. All the awards have been ordered. They're actually, I brought just the People's Choice Award so you can see. There's that one and Best in Show. The others are plaques and medals. All the medals, all 290 or 300 medals are labeled for our show. We're good. First, second, third. We did buy new medals that don't look like the old medals. Well, close enough. So we're transitioning because it was 50 cents and a medal extra if we wanted old school. So medals are ordered, plaques are ordered. We paid for our insurance, which was something new for us. That was done. Actually sent that over. I uploaded it today. We've got all our printing, our small materials going. So as far as the logistics go, we're good. The facilities are going to be set up on Friday night. So the nice thing, we are, of course, always, and why half the membership probably isn't here, the volunteer speech. We already have, I think, enough for Friday night. We're looking at the club to help out on Saturday. We are always going to be in need of judges, and we've kind enough that we've dragooned Dave and Mary to help with the raffle table, but they'll need some supports. So Mary's the anchor and the rest of us will back her up. So please do come to the show. If you volunteer, right, you're in for free. But if you're volunteering, you got to wait for the vendors. That's the only penalty we have to go through. But real quick, because we've had some questions, this is our venue, and we've zoomed in. So the gym is in C building, which is right here. So when you can come right off of Oxford, basically you come right off of Oxford Street, you can pull right back up into here. There's parking on the other side. Everything is free, whether it's a reserved spot, like it's got numbers listed on it, parking meters, all the parking is free. The one thing we're gonna ask the club members is avoid this parking section right here. This is the main entrance. So the gym is actually this piece right here, this whole section. And then there's some parking where you see that bicycle. We're just asking all our members that are coming, don't park there. My son, he's going to be there, but like everyone outweighs him. So if it's a fight, he's just going to lose. But he wants, we want to keep it separate because there's about 6 to 8 spots there. We'd like to keep it for folks that need special parking, right? For those that are mobility impaired or have some challenges. So we're just going to try, Max already knows that's my son, just to make sure that if it's got a placard, let him park. Otherwise, try to get him to move along.
Keep in mind, Max must be there with the card. So if you mess with them, you have to deal.
Yeah.
Where's the door? Is it?
So vendors will come in through the rear here. There's a garage door. They come in through the back, right? Yes. All vendors are technically backdoor people. So the vendors will come in through, there's a garage door in the back. Thank you very much. So security will open that. Well, I can open it up. We'll have it open. So like it's massive access. So if anyone's got a lot of stuff, it's not a big issue. We can get them in pretty quick. The beauty of it is when we rented the facility, I don't know what previous shows were like, but the tables will be completely set up according to the map that we've done. So when we come in on Friday to do our primary setup, we may have to move a couple tables, but other than that, everything will be where we requested it to be. That's part of the exorbitant cost. So before he brings the floor plan up, vendor entrance is in the rear. That's where we'll meet them. Primary entrance is going to be here. The biggest challenge is there is hoarding up where this red rectangle is. The college is putting in a new chiller system. So that area is hoarded off. So you kind of have to come down this side of Alumni Road So park up here, walk in, and boom, you're in through the double doors. That's the easiest way to get in. But literally, there's, freaking parking. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we wouldn't have an issue with that. Yeah, yeah. If some, like, we'll try to make it effectively a bit of a parking area. If you're volunteering with us and you're with the club, if you come in early, I don't think we'd have an issue with you coming in through the back if we have to, but yeah, yeah. But we'll keep the front door section, like we'll keep an area open for loading and unloading only. Yeah. There's no parking in the red zone. We'll do that from the movie Airplane. So that's that area. Now, for club members, I have T-shirts for volunteers. So one of our sponsors gave us about $500 worth of T-shirts. It says IPMS London on the chest, volunteer on the back. Yes, I got modeler sizes, including extra lean for our Gazelle-like members. But I got about 30 shirts. So we'll spread it around like I'm going to give one to my boy because he's going to be, I don't want him to get hit. I even got a vest for him, but it's pinstripe, looks good. But we'll get them set up. But for the volunteers that show up, we'll disperse them as we can. That'll be there so you can help our visitors for the show. The big thing, okay, it's a bit late. I'm going to print off maps for our members, and I'm going to put the locations of the 4 ATMs on campus because I have a feeling someone's going to need to get some cash. We have 4 ATMs. If you like them, you tell them to go to the close one by BT. If you don't like them, you send them over to Oasis. Yeah. So speaking of food, you see where it says SC, and right below it is the little word Oasis. That's the restaurant on campus. It opens at 11. So if you want food or bevy, 11, it's actually good, right? We're talking everything from sushi, Indian to all day breakfast and all you can eat pasta. So that's Oasis. On the other side of the campus, there's 5 or 6 food locations. So I've made them aware that there's a potential for masses, just so that, just all along the south here on either side of First Street. So you can just walk across. There's a ton of food places too. So
none of the Tims on campus.
Yeah, we have 3 Tims and they're all closed on the weekend. So, but there's a Tims on Oxford over by the Z building because the automotive guys are smart. They know where to build their buildings. So just between Z and 3M is the Timmy's if you need something before. We're not allowing food and bevies for visitors. I don't want it in the gym. I don't want us to get sacked with a big price. And besides, who wants burger stains on their models, right? Water, bring your water bottle in if you want to eat. Go to the facilities, go eat, and then come back. That's going to be the safest thing. There's one other, so that's for us in here. There's one other little secret. And everyone, seid stumm, right? We all know, stumm. We have a bathroom in the gym. We're not letting the general public know of our bathroom. There's one bathroom. It's a large, capable, handy access one. It's actually located right here, and it's going to be probably hidden by our award. It's going to say employees only. We just don't want the visiting public to know. We're going to keep that for our facility, us. Okay? No, it's a universal mixed gender accessible bathroom. So we just don't want visitors to use it because just so you know, main entrance is here. That's where that parking we talked about. The turnaround is right up on this end. And basically, there's bathrooms right around the corner, like basically up from those double doors. There's multiple. There's a handicap bathroom with a full changing station and all that. And then there's basically a change room that's got like 6 of each on either side, boy, girl. And then if we have to, I'll ship them down further. So, but just so you're aware, there's a bathroom in there, but we'll keep it for club. Just makes life easier. Behind the club table. I think we're going to use the club table for our area because there'll always be one of us somebody's at the club table, right?
Yeah. Club tables are going to be down here on the right-hand side. Yeah. Figure out where it is with the raffle. We operate that building.
Yeah, we have extra tables that were kind of there. So you'll notice it says vendors optional. Pretty sure that's filled too.
Everything's filled.
Everything's filled. So the vendor tables, Mr. Dawson will have labels for each and every vendor. So the answer is, we'll have a map. Bill will have a map of where they go. Just, you're in the third row over here, your name will be on it.
It'll look very much like this. It will have a
Map.
with names of the vendor table.
Yeah.
And it'll be like rails.
We will hit the vendors up for the raffle table. We always do. Give them a little guilt trip, right? Or even for vet build, but let's do raffle table first because it benefits us. But we'll go for the raffle table. So if they, hey, we could use some donations for the raffle table, always plural donations for the raffle table. We know no shame. So if there's some more, thank you. We'll stick them on. We're at about 70 prizes right now. And there's still some more I've been told are coming in. So if you've got something you want to donate, you all have Jeff's or the executive's email. Can you email in if you're bringing something on Saturday? The reason is I have a spreadsheet so that when it's time to run the raffle, we're done, we're ready to go. We know what we've got already on site. Okay, that's what we ask.
There is one little thing for what the registration table is. It's actually a piece of equipment they have to keep in there, just behind the registration table. So the registration table is actually further down, but we won't get some sort of stand. The reason is it's like a weight thing or something.
There's some equipment for the Police Foundations program, which apparently, if they move, is thousands of dollars of calibration. I have a term for that. We have you always got headphones on, perfect. Yeah, it's bullshit, I think, but that's just me. 2 weights on a rope, I don't think needs $1,000, but hey, maybe I'm in the wrong business. So I have told them, I have told my bosses, so to speak, I'm the client. We're not responsible for their equipment. So I said, we're going to have anywhere from 500 to 700 models. So we're, as volunteers, are busy making sure those don't get damaged. It happens, right? At Nats in San Marco, I think it was close to 174 kits had little purple sticky notes with them saying that, oops, sorry, it was damaged.
Why?
Yeah.
It's always been so much in the
Yeah. We're going to be nice to the college because I'm going to work on a better discount if this works out well. We will have college security. The special constables I've invited, like, they're going to come, it's their turf, but I've invited them to come more often. Just, show the flag. I'll be documenting a bit of it because I wanted, like I said, this college has never done this. Part of our challenge was they've never done something like this. Like they're freaking out because I'm like, you can come. So there's a couple of, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the president shows up. We'll let him in for free. It's a good thing. But for the most part, yeah, we shouldn't be harassed too much. The biggest issue will be people will complain we can't control the construction. There's going to be that machine up there. There's going to be a stair set up in one corner. They'll all be against the walls. Wi-Fi, Fanshawe Public, or sorry, yeah, Fanshawe Guest. When you show up, Fanshawe Guest, you'll just open up your Wi-Fi. Fanshawe Guest is free. Hook up.
Now, if any of you work at the university or work at the hospital, you use your EduRoam account. Okay, those at university should already know how to do that. Those at the hospital,
But otherwise, and for free Wi-Fi, this isn't Tim Hortons. It's high-end Wi-Fi, right? The lighting should be good. There's also baffling in the gym now. If anyone's been there years ago, they've baffled it. So the sound quality, it should be fairly good. Yeah.
yes. No.
We got you covered.
No, we gotta
Use your DJ voice. Yeah. So Adam, you use your outside voice. Yeah, we've rented a PA system, so we'll have that. I'm picking up a screen. So what we're doing this year is we'll put the models, like whatever wins gets their medals on the table. We'll do a disbursement. All the plaque winners, so all the best ofs for each category and our special ones, they all, we can hopefully we'll get basically a quick PowerPoint. So we'll call up those winners. That's the award ceremony, because I am not in the mood in replicating. Capcom is classic for doing that, and it's like an hour and a half, clap. Like by the last person, it's like people are snapping, right? It's like, yeah, get the hell off the stage. So we're going to do that. So there's only going to be 18 awards to give out, which is nice and tight. All the other medals will be there. We'll have photographs of them. We have photographers. We had more, but we have photographers that'll take care of things. If any of you are taking pictures, you want to upload, right? Don't forget, don't hesitate. IPMS Facebook page. Feel free to post your
And
fun
if you
stuff.
Want to send me the folder, just reach out to me.
So just so we're aware, all the vendors, every vendor desk on the map, so against the entire wall, all three big circles, full. We have close to 90, 78.
78 vendors.
Right now, there's 7.
So, yeah, 77. We have one vendor table. Who wants one vendor table? Who will give me one vendor table? So we have. So, but still, we have 70. So that's a lot of vending. That's a lot of vending.
80, 80.
Yeah. And then the contest, like I said, when you guys come in, Friday night, I'm tent carding it. So basically, we've color coded all the categories. So it shouldn't be hard. Red for air, black for space. So once you got your one area, and I have larger tents for those, it just makes it easier for the judges, right? Because once your little red cards turn to black, oops, wrong, we're too far. So just we've color coded it for ease of finding and location. Adam did a great job because armor and airplanes should never be together because they're our two biggest categories. So they're on either end of the contest area, which is, yeah, basically. It's like you, Adam. We just can't give you nice things. So we split that up for the crew to make it easier. So Friday we're in hand. Saturday is when we're looking for volunteers. A lot of it will be, we need judges. We have a lot of people coming. So we heavily advertise this on our social media, which we didn't really do, I think, as much in 2018. I posted on a few of the massive websites. Like, I mean, I'm on Model Makers Union. That's 7,000 people now, or 8,000 people. I got some hitbacks. I got some unfortunate news. Peel Scale Modelers, when Bill and I went, we left them over 100 flyers. So he called me. He said, not only are they all gone, I had to photocopy for more. He was in Niagara Falls. There was a contest in Buffalo recently. So he was in Buffalo for their con. He was up in upstate New York somewhere else. And then somewhere, again, a third place, I don't even know. These flyers have gone all over the place. So yeah. And then again, on the Facebook, Guelph, the guys up in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, Cambridge, they're all, there's a lot of feedback when we posted. Steve was posting like mad on these groups. All the IPMSs are all coming in with sponsorships in the last week. Edmonton sent in a sponsorship. Sir Isaac Brock, Cambridge, Heritage Con guys there in Hamilton. So we did pretty good overall. We got some massive corporate sponsors, which really helped us with the increased costs because everything is more expensive than 2018. We'll do that after the show. We'll do a report from the treasurer, but
In terms of the room capacity, it'll hold over 1,000. Like,
yeah.
same as, at Heritage Con, maybe.
And yeah, and that's the other thing, right? It's just at the door to hold people back. Because if it's our wives holding people back, there will be blood, and we'd rather not. So, yeah. So that's that. So that's the interior. So that's our setup. That's how we'll be doing it. Yeah, there's a make and take down here. So Peter with Neo Tokyo, I think Peter says he's got about 24 kits. And so we're gonna have a make and take down in the corner, so kids can come in, make their kits, right? Yes. Yeah, the restraining order was rescinded, so Peter is.
He's gonna introduce you to the dark.
Yeah. So I did advertise this on the college, and we did get word out to the university because the way the hobby is changing, we've created multiple Mecha Gundam categories. Thanks again, Pete and Adam, for that. So we've increased that section to try to get what's really pushing the hobby right now, which is the Bandai billion-dollar cottage industry they've created, right? So we've increased that. I think we have a good selection. So if we can get some of our university crowd in, college crowd that do this, it'll be kind of nice to see.
So basically, I know a lot of you have done these before. Just a reminder, if someone comes to you with a question or a concern, there's usually two possible things. If anything to do with the contest or the judging, go see Adam, okay? If the application, we'll basically.
I'll probably be buying stuff, but you can
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah,
Well,
but anyway,
either way,
his word is fine.
I've got a cowbell at home that we could just put around his neck for his fireman.
I like that.
You know what, I got a better idea, it's like a helium balloon with
Oh.
a rainbow uniform.
That was,
No, thank
it was better than my idea, the shock collar we talked about, so.
I got one of those for the dog.
Any other questions, direct them to the club page.
Yeah.
Or-
Could it be possible for you to mail the money to the club in advance, like day before Friday or whatever, or?
The better than-
The issue we have there is we have the wives doing the collection,
They
right?
won't believe you.
And if we do you, Cam, then we got, what's the permutation? No, it's not even you, it's just who else, what else, right? So we just, it's all based on fives, right? It's 5 to get in, it's 5 for, like, if you're
Yeah.
putting in a model, that's your $5 for kit, and that is your, like, the club members, you put in the contest, pay. But it's $5 and, up to 25, and then the maximum amount you can bring is half a table. And we will measure your models, right, enough to fill a half a table. So judge as you may, airplane guys, sorry, but keep the 130 seconds at home if you want to bring more than 3. So we'll measure that out, but it's a maximum of $25. Even the raffle table, we made it 2, 5, and 10. So we're hoping people show up with 5s and 10s coming up to the show, right? So,
Try and bring 5, and we're gonna have floats, but obviously these days, ATMs, everyone.
yeah, so it's,
And if you go to ATM, of ATM, you can pick. Yours first. So pick
yeah,
five.
that ain't the college, right? We're dealing with 22,000 students. It's like you take your 20 and go spend it and have a nice day. So like I said, Oasis is open for food. We're not going to have eating and drinking on site. We're not going to argue with a coffee if it's a volunteer trying to stay awake, or water, but even for the guests, right? No, you want to eat, Oasis over there, go around the hoarding. Again, the ATMs are a bit buried. I'll mark them on a map and have enough at the table so you guys can snag one to let people know, because right? The shifty guy is going to be like, oh my God, I got to get this tornado. Come on. So we'll hook them up for that. There's also ATMs across the street, or you could just Google it and go find it and come back. That's always the biggest issue. So I think we're
Those
good.
that are coming and going, we stamping them?
That we have wristbands.
Understand? Okay.
Yeah. The club members that are helping, you're gonna have the same wristband as the vendor. So we know, yeah. We have to tablecloth it. We have to tape everything up. We have to label everything. We got to get it organized. There may be some movement. So, and also to be honest, right? I don't know if it's the old army brat in me, right? But I like a little bit of recce work before I go and spend a day somewhere. So to be able to familiarize ourselves with the layout, where everything is. For example, we have electricity. One of the big questions besides what's the Wi-Fi is where's the power? There is no power in the floor. This is a big ass gym, but there's power along the edges. So when vendors need to recharge their till machine, go plug into the wall. Like we've advised them, Bill's advised them, bring a power bar so you can share with others. But we don't want extension cords all over the place either, because
We will have a at the club table. Bring some plugs, bring your cable.
yeah, so we're trying to keep it safe, because if security shows up and there's trip hazards, we have extra tape in case, but if there's trip hazards or stuff, they're going to shut us down, right? The key for us is to keep it as safe as possible. So when the vendors come in, they've already been told by Bill, but basically get to the side of the wall. I'm getting a couple extension cords from the school to kind of help us out a little bit, but
It's just the way the floor was set up. I've set. this quite a bit.
oh yeah,
So
They'll have,
we'll have to-
they have
Yeah.
phones.
yeah, they all have phones and squares, so we should be okay. outside of that. Yeah, there's a seating area here at the bottom. It says optional seating tables. So we've learned that an old fart section or God, I'm tired or I can't carry all these kits all day. So spousal, gin rummy, poker, and just, knitting, diazepam, yeah, nitro, the old nitro spray to have a seat, because you're like, I can't believe I found that kit after all these years. So little stuff like that, that's our seating
Now,
area.
keep in mind, they may not be all, I think I've got 12 tables there. We might move a couple, but there will be tables, a lot of tables.
We've mitigated the amount of chairs. The vendors all get a chair. Some get two.
There's a couple of,
Yeah, so we should be, because remember, right, every chair is like $3 to $5. Every table is $10-15. So, yeah. Because this, it was almost $5,000 to get the location and all the equipment. So,
So again, just to emphasize, if anyone comes here, if you have any questions during the show, find one of us. Again, or come to the club table. We're always going to have one of us
at the club table. We also have Operation Vet Build. I mentioned it earlier. So Morel's showing up on Friday, Saturday morning. So Alan Morel from Ipms Hamilton will come. So they asked for Operation Vet Build. So we've advertised that being there, and we'll make it open. So yeah. So we talked about display only by the club. We're gonna have to see just what our tables are. If you've got something you'd like to display, bring it. We anticipate having a display only table with our club table so that stuff can be kind of kept an eye on. Fingers crossed.
The idea is, club table, we want to give them a sense of what we do, and the diversity of the club, as opposed to just all amps or we're all planes or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to volunteer for the club table. Yeah, you're gonna bring your diorama stuff? Yeah, I'll bring it.
Yep.
One of those buildings, that.
Defo, yeah, bring that stuff.
We're going to have 2 tables for the club. So
I have quite a few. friends that reason for that. Unexpected. So what do I do? But and if we have room in the building, like, well,
every
yeah,
on every show post-COVID, almost universally, here, US, Australia, Europe, at least 30.
And we were at 564, I think was the last show. So add 30% to that. That's why I'm projecting we could go as high as 750.
We had room, we were able to go 72 to 60.
9:30 is when we open the doors for
yeah.
for display, for display. Yeah,
If you're
9:30 is when,
bringing but if you're volunteering, bring them in early.
yeah,
Like if you're bringing a kid, you're coming in at 8, bring your kid in at 8, put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way you're getting helping.
and yeah,
It's common sense.
like
A lot of it's common.
the registration divas are,
30 to 8. Yeah, because the vendors will be, we told the vendors 8,
so they'll be there at 7.
they'll be there at 7.
Friday night, I guess.
For 10.
We're just going for so the reason we're doing Friday night at 5 is because parking at Fanshawe is free at 5. That's why we're meeting. We have it available. We could be as early as 2 in the afternoon. I'm gonna be there. But really 5 is free parking, so I'm coming back and I'll be there with everyone for 5.
How long is there? Yeah. How long?
Two. I don't see more than a couple hours.
If that.
Yeah.
The important thing is Saturday, post-show, we need as many people as possible.
And really, that's
Many
no,
hands
yeah,
make like-
we don't move the tables. We just put the chairs, so wherever we see the chairs on Friday night or Friday or Saturday morning, that's all we're gonna do is put the chairs back, which they should be dispersed. I did ask for extra to be piled in a corner. So that's it. So really, we're moving chairs. You don't touch the tables. We just leave them where they were. They'll be picked up on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
Just
no,
cleanup.
Yeah, we'll bring some garbage bags to do our own cleanup for stuff. We'll do the old walk-in patrol like they did in the military, right? We'll police our grounds and then we'll get out of there. We should be out, I mean, really, vele handen makkelijk werk. So lots of hands, not a lot of work, sorry. Had a stroke there. Yeah, I don't expect us to take long. We're doing the judging until 3. We're only providing 18 awards as a presentation. By 3:30, people will start milling out. By 4, we can start cleaning up by encouraging les autres to get out and helping the vendors and stuff. That's what we're looking for the help for, is to help them get out, and then we're good to go. So, but the nice thing is we're not moving furniture, which is good. That's just staying where it is.
Okay, Adam? do you
Stand
wanna
back,
give
stand
us
clear.
comments about judging?
One who is probably have wrote in a buddy of mine who judged in Hamilton. I'm like, hey, Mark, you come with me a couple times. You don't know if you want to judge. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, good, kind of go along and learn. So seriously, it's a great chance. If you've got someone who's interested in the stuff that doesn't do it, but they like what they see, it's a great chance to get up close to person, right? Like you're down in the weeds, you know, to the things like this. You're really going to appreciate the work. If you've got somebody, even if it's someone who's young, it doesn't matter. You don't have a minimum age on judging. So I'm expecting we're going to have enough volunteers at the show. I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. We're going to do our usual thing, just like they do in Hamilton, that we've always done. Get everybody together around noon or so. Just to, hey, who's leading what? I know Lee's got cards, Beat's got 5-5, sort the rest of it out. It's very much a on the fly kind of thing. Everybody knows the rules, and I'm going to go over just the thing about the basics and all that stuff again. The only thing is, like you guys said, if there's any questions, talk to me. If you need a tie-breaking vote, I'm great for that. If for some reason we have a non-odd number, which would be even, I can provide that. I can't do that. But
Translating for you.
So good. The only other thing with judging is, and we've said it, something I need to be very, very careful with, because I tend to be very forceful, is keep it civil, and if you see something that's really terrible, keep it under your hat for a little bit. Don't remain on something, because you know what? That's probably the person's best job, and we're not here to turn people off, we're here to turn people on.
Yeah.
Sounding gross, you know what I mean? So stay complimentary. If there's a problem, there's always a way to point out efficiency without making it a criticism.
Yeah.
Right? So just keep that in the way. Yes, sir.
So put a positive spin.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think you've done, maybe if you had done this, that could prove to you.
And because we're judging, I'm going to call it under fire, which is something that's club isn't used to. I think we've all done it. If we've never done it in other shows, we've probably done it under fire. I've done it in Hamilton.
Yep.
It is a different vibe. You need to make sure your radar's on 360. There will be those guys who are going to hover around, and if they start to interfere, again, you can call the over and be like, we're judging.
That's what I was gonna say.
Back away.
If anyone.
You come to let me know.
If Adam's busy, let one of us.
Yeah, we're hoping to have enough volunteers where we can keep people away, right? Like, so, like, it's just the point when you're judging, you're focusing on it, right? A lot of Heritage Con was great because it was basically pick your favorite 5, pick the best 5 you see in that group. And then as judges, Nats, they did the best 3. What I don't like about Nats is they put stickers on their top 3 so the hoverers can see things. I don't like that. So we'll pick, I think we're going to be very similar in that respect. I've always just picked my best 3 and then I argue and you show me why I'm wrong and I'll go with your decision if that's what we see, right? If you've got questions, we'll have we have some extras for the judging. We'll make sure we have some printed extra how we judge as far as the IPMS rules, just as a refresher. But this is an open judging and that can get ugly just because people will hover, people will solicit, stuff like that. Did you look at this one? Did you look at that? I don't know. Back off. You need to give me some space, right? Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So are you going to pick like head judges for categories just so that you can delegate?
example.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call for. I.
Oh, we can determine it at the event. Yeah.
To be a master.
Yeah.
And really just. That's, and if we got 6 people for the bigger category, great. So we busted into 2 teams, you pay 1 through 10, you pay 11 through 20, go.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be, it'll be tough. If the entries are good, it'll be tough, but it's always very rewarding and just pretty entertaining. And I like it because, from what I get, pretty cool tricks in action, and I'm like,
Yeah. That's why I like doing it. Yeah.
Above all,
yeah, it's, the end of the day, I tell my friends this, because they're like, how hardcore do you think? I don't know, I've only got. But it's on the end of the day, we are making clear. That's what we're doing. If you take it too seriously, not only do you not have fun, you make it not fun for other people. That's the exact opposite of this. And judging is really the front line, keeping that over serious tone.
And for those who don't pay attention to all the forums, right? There's a large fan with a lot of shit on it in IPMS Nationals in the States, because even today there was further posts. It's basically, if you haven't been keeping track, we don't have enough time tonight to discuss it, but the scrutiny is kind of there on that. So we're not concerned. As a matter of fact, I've been advocating on podcasts and other groups, like, and actually I've had a few guys I know from the States come to Heritage Con, and they are absolutely loving. They're going, they don't have this problem in Canada. I don't know what your problem is. We don't, they go to shows up here. I said, we're nicer. We don't, we don't have a hidden agenda. Yeah, and like I said, we're anticipating, Stuart is absolutely right. I've been paying attention. And talking to my friends, and 30% to 40% is the average increase on model shows for 2023, not even last year where they weren't even getting close to those numbers. So we're expecting a pretty significant turnout, which is good. That's what we want, right? The better competition and yeah.
So you want.
so basically we want to be one each picture of each country. Okay. After the show, you're going to come find me, or you can send me an email, but after you're going to come find me up there, and add you to a Google Photos group. When you're done, you can upload. Yeah, we're not going to try and do a whole slideshow. It's more proposed. I may take some, and we're gonna have it on the big screen, just some notable ones. But that's basically, I'll just have the photographer flip the load and say, you do this.
Yeah, like,
But same thing. If anyone else takes a bunch of good ones, let me know, and we'll. Yeah.
basically, when we're announcing, if Adam's announcing the winners at the end, basically the TV screen or projector that I'm going to borrow, it's just as he calls them, whoop, they're going to pop up, right? So it just gives that extra visual, so people can see.
One thing we might.
Yeah.
We'll take those pictures again, and then we can immediately upload. Because that's what I basically do it every month here. I take pictures, I throw it into Google Photos, and then just grab it from Google Photos. So we'll try and do a lot of that here. Just one more thing I just heard. I don't think we talked about it. As Jeff was saying too, is we're well known for helping the vendors. Okay, we want all the vendors to be set up for shopping. Okay, it's not a good seat. All right, just let's try and be fair. Okay, now one of the advantages, if we get all the vendors done early before the doors open,
We go shopping.
right? But let's not, if there's something, we don't want to see 20 guys all over there looking at stuff while there's 15 more vendors needing it. Okay? I know it's tough. I do know it's heartbreaking. And if not, I'll stick my wife.
Not yet. I don't think the guy running all the. So I grabbed a bunch of bags. grab that kit here.
But Bill's a
Now,
bad,
don't
ex-
expect that
Bill-
to
yeah,
happen
yeah.
in-
And Bill's a bad example because he went to Torcan with like 112 models and he came home with 140 and passed. Like,
Bill.
you know, that was wheeling and dealing. So,
It's the deal.
somebody yelled out, "There's a guy in the corner giving his kits away half price." Bill's like, "Watch the table." Boom, gone. A little vapor trail, right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's for the vendors in the morning. So yeah, we don't want to violate them too much. So we'll wait. Once they're all set up, you know, we will, as Mr. Burns says, we'll release the hounds.
Yeah, there will be time.
Yeah.
There will be time, but let's
Yeah.
try and, you know, there's basically nothing worse than, you know, you got vendors trying to help and you got other people like. Okay.
And there's limited access, like the doors don't open from the outside for most of the venue. So when Stuart had the map up, we're gonna be at the main gates in the back. You don't come in through there unless you're a vendor and you get your wristband. There's only one way in through the front. The other doors, unless someone lets people in, that's the one thing to keep an eye on. But they don't access from the exterior.
Now, if you're gonna be running late, but remember you're not getting there till 8:30. Pretty early. If you have to, come in the garage door.
Yeah.
Okay, because if there's a big lineup, I don't want to get people annoyed by, oh, excuse me, I'm not, you know. And you're going, okay.
We've seen what it's like, right? Before we let them in, they line up and they get ornery. There's a massive hall. They don't have to be outside. We can loop them all the way around. We got lots of room on the inside and no one's supposed to be there.
I think it's really wonderful that it's done. That's a lot more. Each full vendor. Yeah. Somewhat. Vendors total, really small. And
I think they only had one before COVID hit.
Yeah, it was Windsor Hobbies is a big driver.
Yeah, they're now
Yeah.
back in, yeah.
Yeah. And Windsor Hobby gave us a lot of kits. Like they were quite generous. We got 13 kits from Windsor Hobby, which I was really happy to get, right? So yeah.
Yeah, we're quite well known as one of the major shows. There is.
Yeah.
Like Hamilton, Toronto, Ottawa. Oh, well, Heritage Con's obviously a bigger bag. But the other ones yet. And again, Drive, we get a lot of traffic. We will get New York State.
It's pretty much Heritage Con, CapCon, and from the sounds of it, we're a close second with maybe Calgary. That's the biggest shows, yeah. Even the West Coast, it's not that big, so we could exceed those. Heritage Con, for those who don't know, is now the largest single-day model show in North America. Because Nats and Amps, ArmorCon, they're all 3, 4, 5 days long, 4 days long. So it's the biggest single show, like single day. Yeah, and the Americans think we're crazy for holding a single day show that large. We tell them that, the guys come back, I can't believe you guys did that in one day. Holy shit, man. And then they go like, you don't have any like sessions for tips? Oh, sorry. Well, he's got headphones on. And his dad's a pilot, so he knows how to swear. You know, and they're freaking out about this stuff. Like, I can't believe you guys do this in one day and you have no sessions. I said, that's because we know how to do all the techniques. We're good. Come on, I gotta bust ball somewhere.
And this is why we have PR.
Yeah.
All right, so any other questions about the show? Because we,
entry form, I know, three numbers on the number of day. Three numbers on. What are we doing?
Numbering occurs on the day when they bring the form. All
Do
day,
they even have? Doesn't matter. Trying to think of ways. Do we need to know?
not if they have the, to be honest with you, do we? Because if they've got the name, you identify the kit by its title and its builder, I think will be sufficient.
Are we just using the numbers to count how many models are on the table?
No, we'll count the sheets later.
Okay.
I'll count,
we don't need the numbers. Most important thing,
my
though,
wife.
do not throw away any of the forms. During cleanup, modelers left their form behind, and I'm gonna ask the ladies to tell them to do that. We want to keep, because that's how we get our, every year, every show, we've always forgotten that. I want to get a count.
Well,
No, just the kid.
just a kid, yeah.
It's-
What's that?
Well, because then you'll know for each
No, but
kid.
if the kid's on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to, we want to mitigate movement, right? Tom? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
As long as the directing team remembers to do that, that'd be awesome.
That- Listen, my wife is OCD. She'll take numbers. I'll just say, keep a tick chart, right? Don't tell her I said that, for the love of God, I'll give you money. But she'll do tick chart there just to keep us a rough count. But we can, again, we did this at Heritage Con. We just counted, right? Because the judging sheet, do we have judging sheets? If we don't have judging sheets, we can just put total in category, which is what Heritage Con did, and we'll just include that with the judging sheets so that we're good. Might be some on the drive. We'll get those printed. So we'll do that. We'll just basically put total models in category for after you do your 1, 2, 3. So you'll have to make a count. It'll be on the form for the count. This way we just know.
We're not making it complicated.
Yeah.
Really should affect the registration for the- and all on display and all that.
The day.
You can.
No.
There is a form, if you're gonna enter the contract. Form. Form in. Okay. Okay, then you take your form and you. You will also have blank form with a table for people to register if they have.
And if you can't
It's
do that,
If you would pre-fill it, saves a ton of. On the internet on the web.
On London, like London Model Show or Southwest Scale, go to the show. It's a it's a fillable PDF. Yeah.
No, it's on it's on the web,
Yeah.
website, the flyer directs you to the website.
We prefer pre-filled. If the club members are coming to compete, pre-fill them, please.
For you.
Cuba will show. You're gonna go to the website. It's a,
Get them all.
entry fee. No, this is not, so this is not like nationals where if you're an IPMS, if you're not an IPMS member, you have to pay $50 to get in. That's not the way it works. This is the IPMS London's model show for all modelers, period.
Now, one thing on the form, we have asked people to sign, we are talking about, entries and sometimes single that will be avoided. If free. Okay, there'll be no picking up, no texting of models. Content. This is just, for example, if we need a little bit more room, okay, on, let's say, the aircraft, we need to drag a few entries. Ideally, if the form's there, we can just gently, or we'll always try and find them all and have them move it. But this is just a good, it covers their back.
and you can't lick.
Yeah, because some people will, yeah, they'll dump and run, or they may go to grab a bite to eat while they're waiting for the judging. So the only person, Adam's going to be the head toucher, a role he adopted quite frequently.
We gotta work on your, yeah, we gotta.
He loves it.
You're gonna be like the president of IPMS,
And-
you're gonna, anything you say, is gonna get pre-approved.
We have big yellow do not touch the models. No, no, please.
Adam's gonna have his white glove.
Yeah. We got the do not touch the models. No Ps. We got the international symbol for don't touch. Yeah, no skull and crossbones. We're gonna be serious about it. He wanted it. But I'm the vice chairman of the CAC TC 145,
That's so important.
representing Canada for symbols. Yes, all those pictograms, I approve them. So, yeah, it's not much, but it's a small victory. But yeah, we have signs. So there'll be yellow signs, so they stand out at each table, three-sided, saying don't touch, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. Adam will be the one who, if we need to move something, I think we usually limit it to the head judge and maybe the head category judges if we have that number, but we'll leave it with Adam for now. There's ways to move without a problem, like by the base. As volunteers, we all know what people are like when they set up their model. My SCAML needs to be exactly here and away from all the others. So it's not the way it works. We'll do that appropriately. And also Adam will decide if we need to do splits. So if we're doing judging, and for those of you who are not familiar, we'll talk about it, but real quick, if we start to have either a lot of models or we need to start divvying it up, then, for example, Torcan had 1/72nd scale modern jet planes. They had like 50, right? So they had to do, let's do NATO and everyone else. That was logical, but they needed to do a split. So like the youth category, youth is like, that's 12 and under, there's just one. But if we get an avalanche of youths and maybe there's some vehicles and airplanes and a mix, then yeah, we can look at, that's why we have extra medals. Youths. Age categories are youth is 12 and under. Junior is 13 to 17. And and all the rest is whatever you want to be. If like we specifically made it for inexperienced or, but if you've got something, if you see he's made something, I don't want to point fingers, but like an F-18 or an F-16, or something like that, that he says, I'm going with the big cat, then let him go with the big boys. And absolutely, right? Kick our butts. So, yeah.
They are, everything's on the website.
Everything's been there. What's that? But, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Talk to the head judge.
That's why you're
Yeah.
at the raffle table.
Yeah, the youth and junior sections are more to, right, we're trying to encourage the hobby and stuff, make it a bit of a fair playing field. Right, they don't have 20, 30 years experience, but,
Here's all the class. Okay, it's on the website.
and they're labeled, like when you see junior, as 12 and under for youth, juniors, and then all the best stuff. And then, of course, on the entry sheet, don't forget, we have Best Canadian Navy, we've got the Van Dusen Award for weathered models, we've got CAM's Award, not UCAM, other CAM, for Best Armor or something. Yeah, past CAM. So we've got 7 awards there also, don't forget. And that's one thing, Adam, I think we'll keep our eye on too, is like some people forget to put like that is Royal Canadian Navy, put yourself in for competition for that. Oh, you're the head, all hail the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions? Yes? It's not recommended, right? Like you shouldn't. Can you judge a category you're entered in? Having experienced that. Yep.
If, there's a student group, you don't have to do that, right? Call me over and I'll walk the whole.
That just opened up a ton of can of worms, especially with our friends south of the border. Right now, they're dealing with that.
If
Total.
yeah, right now there's a big quandary with IPMS in the US for the last show, because basically the number one winner was not the number one winner when it came time to give awards. There's all sorts of blog posts. Feel free to peruse at your own delight. But the angry American is present. So that's still going on. So we're going to try to avoid that. And I think we avoid that by already establishing our rules. They're pretty well grounded. We follow 90% of what IPMS Canada has under their guideline in 72, but we have it all set up.
We have it right here.
Yeah.
Again, it's on the website.
Well, the thing is this is necessary, right? So there's no, like, did you check the website out? Yeah, well, it's all there. It's on you. Yeah. So the big things for the vendors, Fanshawe Guest. There's electricity along the walls, just if you're helping with the vendors, that's the big thing. We're all coordinated, sorted out. I think we'll be well set for judges. I think Adam's right. We're not going to have anything to really worry about. Our biggest challenge could be what HeritageCon did, which is restricting access. We may have to close the doors at some point if there's too many people, right, based on occupant load. They're supposed to send me what's called a mock, which is the risk assessment. I need to confirm the occupant load. I mean, the president's breakfast technically is illegal because I think they have 1,700 people in there and it's full of, like, everyone's got a place to eat. So it's even more than we do. So we should be good with at least 1,000 people walking around there. That's best case scenario, which would be amazing.
Would be a great problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's our IT connection, could very well be it. The nice thing is,
I may have.
none of the, like, the four of us, Bill, Peter's got his thing with the build table, so he'll be tied up with the make and take, sorry, and his judging. But the rest of us that are here, we're not really going anywhere specific. We're kind of bopping around, filling what's needed. We'll all offer to judge if that's what's needed. Adam knows that. He's got us for that. But like, whether it's liaison, there could be some media there. I did spread the word to some of the media students in the college. So someone may want to do a summer project or, get an A. I'll be definitely posting on social media for this.
So in other words, the media goes up.
Yeah. So Jeff will represent us. Please speak to my consigliere.
Big takeaway too is that we haven't done this 5 years, give or take, and none of us have done it really
Ever.
ever. So we're doing the best we can. We're likely to make it going to be interesting. And from my perspective, anyway, the full exercise the learning experience so that we can do a better job. Canada has been challenging because they don't know what they're doing, which they've ever done it. But at the end of the day, I think if we can make this venue work, and numbers seem to be working, we will get a financial support. Really, we're on track to end the day with as much or more money. Even after that, we may have some.
Yeah. And the big thing I did tell Stuart on the way in is we always used to do alternate years with CapCon. And because we went so many years, CapCon and us are at the same time. I'm going to reach out to Glenn Colley, the president. We'll have a chat and see if who can rotate the schedule. Right. They're pretty vociferous in Ottawa I might talk to a couple of the guys to do another show next year and then we do it in 2 years. But I'd like us as a club to go back to alternate years with Ottawa because, right, like now we've got Welcome is back. We've got there's more shows are popping up, especially this time of year. So we don't want to just increase that so much and detract from each other. So we're looking at doing the same with CapCon again because we're the two the big fall shows basically. HeritageCon gets March and we get the end of the year. Because we did it this year and I don't want to do this annually.
We'll get. Yeah.
No, we did start this in January. Gary?
Really all.
And like I said, with Capcom, it's great, right? Because we're 7 hours apart, but it still works out well. Capcom draws a lot from the Quebec area, northern New York State. We draw from our little bailiwick, but we complement each other. We can go to each other's shows, right? Because they're every other year and we're not saturating it. It really makes it more fun when we're only putting in 8 months of work as opposed to 12 months of work, right? Every year. So, yeah.
Yeah,
And let's be honest, right? Heritage Con is arguably, but basically Canadian national. That's how it's being perceived outside of our area. The Americans say that they're already considering the FSM comes, the magazines are coming, the larger vendors are starting to show up. Heritage Con really has that sort of, it is kind of our nationals. Yeah. Yeah. So, and most guys who go agree, like, I mean, it is a marquee event for us up here. So, and a good spot for it. Yeah.
well, we look forward to seeing you all there. And I wish you well.
Yes, new members, we have two, right? One had to leave. Yeah, we had two new members. One gentleman, I can't remember his name, with the beard. Will gave us the Guinness we have a Guinness, a lit Guinness dispenser thing for, as a prize for he brought that in for the, raffle table. So that'll be good for, one of the big belly people that shows up at the show. Yeah, so yeah, it lights up, it works, 12 volt, 24 volt, yeah. And Richard joined us. So, welcome. He liked the last meeting, so he stuck around. Yay, so two more. So what are we at now for membership in this club?
64.
64 members in the club. It's pretty impressive. Okay, so, want to do the show table and then we can just kind of hang out, shoot the shit, tell lies, swap stories. Sorry.
Gary, I know you would.
Fact, from that one, the board, people keep filling in my position. Holiday. Somewhere, oh, I know what. But he's gonna be on the executive. Still looking for more. Don't know if anybody's read the COVID that for it. Some of the people are getting up in age. They're getting, for instance, Bob McNary is the director in a year. He's been the editor for and like myself, it's very. We're looking for fresh blood. Steve especially kind of shadowed him. We're in the state of editing. Yeah, some people are members without portfolio. My name is that category. I think find something. Anyway, yeah, those are people who are really will just step forward. It's not really like, if anybody's thinking of it, I'm just kind of a member. Not overly just a couple of hours a week. And because we are all volunteer, people don't step forward, people decide to leave.
But it only, you know, like Miss Canada.
Yeah, it's the thing. All people volunteer. If these people decide to move on and just step forward, then that.
Big point out. Also the issue with.
Oh, nice set, yeah.
Very nice.
I'll just make this announcement now, and think, oh, wow, that's a really neat deck, I'm gonna join that, that's standing deck one. So,
Too late.
On to the next. Okay.
Pretty much if you join up after July, you're pretty much cut off from that episode. Yeah.
But again, yeah. Quarterly.
And as a segue, I've got a whole bunch of these for free for anybody who wants them. These are RTs that are going back in history to volume 18 to volume 2.
Did they ever?
He did a second. He did a
No. It's-
Okay, they did do where you could buy a cute little thing on a. with the USB, and it has all the.
I got one.
Hopefully they're gonna-
So did I.
hopefully they'll-
Also got this for free for anybody who wants it. It's the detail and scale on P51.
Is that a good plane? Is that a good plane to be?
Prototype for P51C. I was gonna put it on the raffle table, but it's got a little scratch mark, so this one. Get this one.
So just,
You wanna do 50/50?
we'll do a 50-50 draw.
50/50, Brad.
Um,
Sorry.
so remember, if you're donating and you have it with you tonight for the raffle table, get it to me. If not, send me or send us an email. I want to add it because we have a list. So when it comes time, for those of you who don't know, the way we do the draft, the raffle, we have tickets. You buy tickets. Tickets are 2, 5, and 10. When you do we'll do the draw. Someone will be drawing them. We'll have our own version of Vanna White. She'll write the numbers down. If your ticket matches, you put your hand in a bag. You pull out a chit, whatever that number is, that's your prize. Prizes will all be numbered. So, 21, you get number 21. That's how we'll keep track of that. Yeah, we'll do a 10-minute break for 50-50 and then we'll do our build. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Priscilla, bring me my beer. Thank you very much. Lemonade. It's that cool, refreshing drink.
Slap.
Oxford Street. To go into the university.
And thank you for the
Construction on the way that.
have a lot of aircraft.
No, it's fine. You'll be able to, that's just forwarding they got up. You'll be fine. Yeah, it's over. So George, you are entering. You are entering stuff in the contract, right? Good.
It's the threat, right?
I know, he says he's entering, but it's okay.
Ray doesn't put anything in. I am taking Ray to try to look at that. And I'm trying to get to work for you. Your Sunderland. Very,
Here's the detail sheet, by the way.
nice.
Yeah, that's good. I do a lot of what ifs, so this nicely built my what if. Although I'm deciding when I'm gonna put the go league go on. I think I should do something that's like a failed project.
Go, have to go.
Yeah, I know, just go league.
Go, leave, go.
Yeah.
Same again.
Yeah.
Joe, can you let me have, so I can get them?
I never take it. I'm driving fast, it's
There's,
I drive in, I go, what's going on? They tell me, I drive back. I picked up a couple of models, came back, filled out the paper, entered it, got another cover. So I laughed, came back, and I got a second place for my record tank, and I was like, what do I sign on? I was a lot of- Russian army, I ordered so much. The only way I could have.
more reading material than this one. I mean,
Great, keep my wife put up there. Adam, when you gotta go back in?
Yeah, that's it.
Is that it? That's the only one they have? You don't have another form for category?
Nope. So then all we do is just, and you didn't even do the category. blank.
Well, they're gonna have to be split because, I mean, they're all there, but we're gonna have to fill them out. Because they're gonna be different ones, obviously, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be different templates, we're gonna have to match them up. Can we just do it in turn? So why don't we do?
All I would say is you make a generic one.
We guys, yeah, I think that's gonna be the good one.
Class and
All right. Okay, I'll do that then. Because, yeah, it's just the same thing, right? So you guys, we just,
Category,
yeah,
fill it,
take all that out.
fill that.
Don't need this song.
Nope.
Actually, we do, because when we're announcing the best part, they don't say.
The best stuff,
This
yeah.
one you read off.
Well, the thing is, the best stuff, print all that stuff in there. If I put the generic one, print that stuff all in.
Yeah, I never did the judging, so I was never behind the scenes. I'll figure it out.
I mean, it's just a little bit of extra work,
Yeah,
that's all.
that's fine. I'll make a generic one, and then words comes to words, we just have to remember.
Yeah. Well, you'll have that written somewhere anyway.
Yeah, we'll have that.
Yeah, it's gonna work out.
Oh, look at that, there's even a blank one. Oh, is there a blank one coming? All of a sudden, it's gotten split.
Yeah.
Right?
Done and done.
Okay.
Super easy.
I will move.
You like the camera? Yeah. I know he did. Why did that?
Okay, business report, now that, we found a ton of blank template. They just have to fill it. The judging report's done. Judging report's done. In other words, one blank template, we print 70 copies. I already got head judge approved. Frank? All right, we'll get started on our table.
So, it is. I know how this works. Who's doing the draw? Gonna do the draw? Okay. We're doing the raffle draw, 50-50. Chiquante, Chiquante,
For a certain amount of money,
for an unspecified sum. Yeah, for the people, yeah.
or a dream date, no.
With our head judge.
Date with Larry Watson,
Night in the hot tub.
1450.
1450. All right.
Hot tub with the-
All right, you don't want that price. 952-776. 952-776.
Oh, there is.
Right. 952-691. 952-691.
That's us.
You're charged to pay money?
You wanted to talk? Oh.
There you go.
That's a bit less, that's a bit less than that.
Oh, no, you still got more tickets on there.
Pick up.
You might still get the book.
Might still be.
But then you might get mugged outside the library. I'm just telling you.
703.
Oh, that's me. Yeah.
You know, I gotta put it
Want to put it back in?
back in.
Yeah, because I don't build B-51 Mustangs, so
That should be. a
I do Ds. What's that go to?
Hey,
There you go. Not good for me.
You have 704 as well.
Yes.
Give it to the.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
It's yours.
Get a ball.
Give it to Branson, please.
France, there we go. All right, so,
Let's start with the bone.
yes, the Boneyard.
You can enter it as the bone.
That would be great. That's a collection. Mr. Hill?
Oh, and can someone turn off the front lights there? Hey, Eric, can you turn off the one set of lights? The other one.
After completing several shake and make kits, I wanted to get back in my wheelhouse, so to speak, so I thought I'd tackle 4 Cambria vacuforms 148 scale, all at the same time for some daft reason. But that's why I'm known as the Daft Canuck. And I thought I'd bring them in just so you can see the various different points of progress and some of the steps I've had to go through in building vacuforms. You can sort of see on the table, the drop tanks that came with the kits were absolutely disgusting. So I grabbed an Airfix 148 camber and making molds of drop tanks, and that's one of 8 that you can see, and a couple others that are one's far too fat, doesn't fit, and the other ones are far too flat on top. So vacuform joys. And all the wings, I have a little bit of kerfuffle getting some fan jets printed. Fellow Canuck in Humboldt, which is a famous Canadian name, Saskatchewan, offered to print some up, but then his I'm not in 3D printing, but his heater head failed, so he replaced that, fired up his printing, and another part failed. So he kindly sent the files down to a fellow Canuck who now resides in the States, and he printed them up, and they've been in the postal service for 14 days. Yeah. That's it. I don't have the files, but yeah, yeah. So they should have been here over a week ago, so I can get back to building the wings. But there you go. That's what some vacuform building looks like. Keep me happy. It's a big airplane, yes. Yes. And one of these days I'm going to do a PR9.
The Phantom? Mr. Watson, where are you? There you are.
That's a Tamiya F4B. Really nice model. If you don't have one, you like jets, you probably want to get one. Goes together nice. Did a lot of weathering, oil work, washes. Had fun with the Ushi on it and armed it up, ready to go. I don't know. Tamiya F4B. Great model.
Back from his extended tour of the Seychelles, Mr. Tucker.
He's so tiny in the detail.
Anyway, I bought myself a new 3D printer, a 12K printer that can print some quite large models if you like. So the first thing I printed off was this dragon and the plinth for it. The plinth I made that the square base was a separate file, and then the arch back, that was another separate file. And so I combined them together in Tinkercad and then added a blending bevel between the two pieces to form the radius on the front of it. And the dragon itself, that took just a little over 4 hours to print, which was fairly rapid. And next to it is a Skitarii Ranger, which is from the Warhammer universe. And to my amazement, when I took it off of the printer, there's two electrical cords or hoses going in the right hand of the figure going to the mace. And those even printed off, and they're not even much bigger than a hair diameter, which and so anyway, I was quite amazed with that because it has a resolution of the pixels on the machine are rectangular rather than square, and they're 19 microns by 24 microns is the pixel size. And the machine itself has 12,000 pixels on the screen. So I can print anything with like very high detail in a large format. And then next to it is a diorama I've been working on with, again, from the Warhammer universe. It's a Adaptus Mechanicus Tech Priest. And the scenery in the background there are furnaces and walls that I found again from free files on Thingiverse. And the railings are from the same guy that does the furnace models. And I found an interesting technique on YouTube for the marble tile floor. And if you look in the front there, I have that green material is actually baby wipes, unused. And, yeah, and so there's one next to it there. I might just get up for a second. Yeah,
We're on a first name basis.
yeah, but here's the stuff here, and if you here keep stretching it, and it kind of separates out so you get it looking like this. And I just taped it over a strip of foam board and airbrushed the white first, and then did the green through that, and that's what gave them marble pattern. So there was a couple of videos on YouTube that I found that, and I posted a link to them on our Facebook page if you wanted to look it up how it was all done. So that's it for that.
Yes, he will be after me because he spent about $1,000 this summer on. All right. Who brought the chopper?
This kit, it's a 148th, either Revel or Monogram, I can't remember what it is, but it's a UH-60A Blackhawk. I had this sitting around the house, move since I was about 12 years old. I decided it was time to build it, so I got back into the modeling there, like when I joined the club a while back. And this was sitting in the basement, and boxes all crushed and all that, but parts are all there. So I decided to give it a go and just put together. Not a bad kit, but just trying helicopters now, and I'm going to bring a 1/32nd scale Apache to the show as well.
The next one is? What's next? The Tiger Cat? Oh, wow. The Velvet Fog strikes again.
Thank you, Frank. This is a Revell 172 Tiger Cat F7F. This was a kit I got from Jeff at the last year's swap, and he was kind enough to fill it with all these extra resin goodies. So this was a straight F7, but all the goodies allowed me to convert it to a 3N, which is their night fighter radar version. So that involved chopping off the nose, putting on 2 resin nose pieces, one in front of the other. And do you know you shouldn't use crazy glue? Because you can't line up the pieces. No. Well, thanks. Now you tell me. So that was a bit of a problem. And then I had to cut open the fuselage to add the second cockpit, because the radar operator had his own cockpit behind the pilot. So that all had to be cut out, and the resin kit had the seat and the side panels and instruments for that second cockpit. The kit also came with vacuum canopies, which I've never worked with before. So I used it on the rear canopy and found a way to get it to sit, and then used it also for the sliding cockpit canopy, because it was nice and thin and it fit and looked like it was meant to be there. The kit had really bad engines, so I found some quick boost engines online for the Tiger Cat and used those inside. They look much better than the originals. I added wire for the brake lines. I did some chipping medium for the props and cowling areas to give it a little wear and tear. Gave it black base, and then built up a black blue tone to the airplane, because the planes were originally all painted blue, and then they were just sprayed black for the night fighter versions. The decals are off after aftermarket decals as well for the night fighter version, because the kit wasn't a night fighter. And then just use different washes and oils to dirty it up, some stretch sprue for the antennas, and she's done. So it was interesting because it was more resin stuff than I've ever had to do before, and a few mistakes, but I was happy trying something different. Yeah. Yes, it was all raised panel lines. I did. No, not that one. No, not that old. No, I did sand off all the raised panel lines everywhere and rescribed all the panel lines everywhere. Thank you.
You need to work on yours. I'm sorry. Oh, yes, low key.
That would be mine. It's the 54 centimeter Loki, the super heavy self-propelled mortar. It's not painted yet. I put it together in about 2 weeks, and it's in the transition from the factory to the paint factory. So that's why it looks like that. It's not quite finished. But it was fun. together pretty easy for me. And the gun part moves up and down. So I like it. It's one of the bigger things I've made. In a month and a half, three of them are not painted, but I've done 3 tanks. I've finished 1 tank completely, and I did my Air Canada plane. And I'm working on a tank right now, the Sherman tank right now, and it's half done.
And the last two? There we go. Oh, Richard, bringing stuff. Nice.
No.
Could be. Good. Nice work. Well, that's it. That's our show and tell. 8:30. We've talked about the club. If anyone's got any more if you've got donations, come see me so I can collect them and you can help me load the car. Other than that, if you've got more questions, just the executive's still here for a few minutes. Otherwise, yeah.
When I was at Windsor Hobbies on Saturday, the guy gave me this card, Great Area Auto Modelers. I don't know whether anybody has a calendar. But apparently it's more like a big, I was looking for a couple of specific kits. He said, oh, you gotta go to this, lots of vendors and maybe some older stuff. So it is November the 12th. At Macomb County College Sports Expo in Warren, Michigan.
Take a photo of it and post it on the,
Post it on our,
Okay.
on our London page.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anyone else? Otherwise, we hereby call the last meeting before the show over. And we'll see you Friday, Saturday, and then at the recovery clinic on Sunday.
If anyone happens to see that kid at the show, let me know.
Which kid?